Well, hello again, my dear Groan crew. Once again, we are diving down deep into another episode of the Groan Zone, but on a Thursday this time, in which I'm bringing you episode 34. Why have I moved it on a Thursday? Because things are happening over the course of the weekend and on Friday, like I already informed people via last week's show and also via the Facebook group. But what are we going to come across this week? I best hurry before we all melt in the heat, because the UK is currently suffering a massive heat wave. I say suffering because people like me are not enjoying it. And that was one of the groans in the previous show, people groaning about the weather. Here's a groan, but this doesn't count. However, we are definitely getting some groans from myself and the audience. We find ourselves baffled again with our game double of the week. Yes or BS and give me the question, or what your games of choice this week. We may find ourselves some unlucky and creepy stories, but we most definitely have a zero of the week. And with that being said, let's get straight down to it. As always, usually, we'll begin with my groan 3-piece and go from there. Groan number 1. People who sit there and make daisy chains out of paper clips. You then need to unravel them before you use them. This is so frustrating and annoying. If you're gonna do this, how about playing with your own paper clips that other people aren't gonna use? Stop making daisy chains out of bloody paper clips. I don't want to sit there for an hour unraveling the bloomin' things. I only want one. Stop it! Rule number 2. When you are talking to someone and they don't excuse themselves and suddenly answer their phone as you are talking to them, which is the height of bad manners. However, if you do it, they then look at you with a surprised Pikachu face and then they get offended. So, if you're talking to someone, instead of answering your phone, how about pressing call declined on the phone and wait till they finish talking to you? Just a thought. Groan number 3. When you leave fruit in what is supposed to be a cooler bag to stop stuff going off. You come back to it after about 1 to 2 hours and it smells like a fermented, sweaty orchard. What is the point in these bags if they don't stop stuff heating up? It's a cooler bag for a reason. It's there to keep things cool, not to allow things to go off. Just give us a better product, something that works, that just keeps things cool, please. Anyway, that's my groan bag emptied for yet another week. Let's swap our groans for some creepiness now, but the audience groan will come later. Well, that's creepy. Here it is. So, I read about possible brain scanning tech that could tell employers what their employees are thinking. This isn't something against Elon Musk's Neuralink, by the way. Neuralink is, I think, where you get like a implant inserted in your head, and then you can download stuff to your brain as well as go on the internet. Yep, science fiction is becoming science fact. If this brain scanning tech is used in the wrong way, then our thoughts are no longer going to be our own. Are we going to be restricted from thinking in our workplaces? Like if you go in and you think, ooh, where am I going on holiday this week? Are you going to get an email from your employer going, stop thinking about holidays, work? The whole idea just stinks of, well, that's creepy to me. But shifting again, let's hit up an old favourite with yes or BS. Those in the room playing along live, you know the score. Those listening after the fact, you know the score. Do not get the fake answer at any point or you get blanked. Here we go. Round number 1. The 19th century President People Round. Option A. People walk differently in medieval times. Option B. One granddaughter of President John Tyler, who was the 10th President of the United States, who was born in 1790, is still alive. Just to reiterate, I'm not saying the president's still alive. It's one of his granddaughters, just to lay that out there. Option C. In 19th century Ireland, jack-o'-lanterns were carved out of swedes instead of pumpkins. I'll give those playing along live a bit of time to answer. Those who are playing along at any point, just pause, have a think, then press resume. Nope, people are typing. Someone's gone for option C. Ooh, and everyone else is surprisingly quiet. Okay, I guess people just want to listen. Never mind. Round number 2. The WW2 Nostril Tendril Round. Option A. Sea cucumbers eat with their tendrils that come out from their mouths. Option B. Nostrils take turns receiving the majority of the air you breathe. And option C. Jerry Springer, may he rest in peace, was born in a street in Piccadilly Circus during World War II. Same thing as previous round. Just waiting for those answers to pop in. Here they come. Oh, a couple of people typing in there. Yep, yep, yep. Here they come. I think someone definitely wants to go for the Jerry Springer answer because they've wrote Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Okay, someone's gone for option C there, and think the majority are going to follow him. For your sake, souls playing along live, you best hope he's right. Anyway, moving on to round number 3, last round. The Dead Clown Dawn round. Option A. Opossums have a knack for play dead when tricking their prey. Option B. A group of clowns is called a guffaw. And option C. Red Dawn, 1984, became the first movie to be released with a PG-13 rating. Same as previous round, pause when you need to, go play along live, you got a bit of time to answer. Oh, that was quick, people are coming in there. Someone's gone for Red Dawn. Okay. And anyone else typing in? And someone's gone for the clown answer. Okay, answer's in, that's it. If you think you were blanked, you might have been, or did you score points? You may have, we'll find out later. Now, before we hit the audience groan, don't forget, you can groan in verbal, if you know me, or I may just find you out there and ask the question, what annoys you in life? There are also other ways to get those groans, feedback, creepy stories, or unlucky people stories, or your hero or zero of the week nominations to me. Here they are. You can come in via Discord on the Groan Zone podcast. You can go in via Facebook groups at the Groan Zone podcast. You can shout me out directly on Facebook Messenger at Mystery Groaner, or you can wing off an email to thegroanzonepod@gmail.com, as a fair few people have in the past. Now let's get down to it. This week's audience groan comes in from Tom of North East England, and he groans about the following: incorrect road markings coming into Newcastle upon Tyne, aka the council not pulling their weight. Well, yep Tom, does any council do right by their public? I suspect not. Cheers for the groan, Tom, great point. Moving on, let's hit on some unluckiness with Oh Unlucky! This one goes out to all the babies born in Spain on June the 13th. Why, I hear you ask? Because this day is considered to be one of the unluckiest days for Spain. Here's wishing all those babies born on the 13th of June in Spain good luck with no bad luck. And now, with that being said, it's time for Gimme the Question. Everyone ready? Here it is. Round number 1. Your answer is Z. Your questions are: who was the bad guy in Man of Steel? Option 2. Which character appeared in every Police Academy movie? And option 3. Who was one of the characters killed in Pulp Fiction? This should get some brains rattling. Yes, I know. I did a test round with someone and they were like, who the hell's Zed? Like, we'll just guess. Ooh, a few people typing. See what they come up with. Okay, someone's gone for Superman. Someone's gone in for option 2. And someone's gone in for option 3. Nice even spread there. Moving on. Round number 2. Your answer is Bebop and Rocksteady. Your questions are: what are 2 game companies that often work together on designing video games? Option 2. Which 2 characters are arch enemies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And option 3. What are 2 types of dance move popularized in the 80s and 90s? Someone's straight in there with option number 2. Someone's unsure but is sure Rocksteady is a game company, so they've gone in for number 1. And someone's undecided between 2 and 3. I'll have to rush audience member. If you're undecided, I'll have to say which answer you're going for. They've gone for 2 as well. Okay. Last round. Your answer is Winston Churchill. Your questions are: who never visited America in their lifetime? Option 2. Who became angry in 1942 when there was a cigar shortage? And option 3. Who flashed the President of the United States of America during a meeting? Someone's wrote Queen's first Prime Minister. Okay, that's not an option, audience member. I must say that you've got to stick to the options I gave you. Although that is a good answer. I'll say them again. Your answer is Winston Churchill. Your questions are: number 1. Who never visited America in their lifetime? Option 2. Who became angry in 1942 when there was a cigar shortage? And option 3. Who flashed the President of the United States of America during a meeting? Someone's gone in for number 1 there. Other people are typing. Someone's gone in for flashed. Okay. The answers to both games will be revealed after Hero and Zero of the Week. Mentioning Zero of the Week, here it is. Our Zero of the Week this week is a lawyer who had his head up his own arse. Why? Because he was buying Class A drugs, meaning meth, off of clients which he defended. Mate, as a lawyer, you're meant to stay out of jail, not join the criminals, you Burke. You're definitely a Zero of the Week, and I hope you get struck off and can't practice law after this, you complete numpty brain. Now that we've got Zero of the Week out of the way, I should say, here come the game answers. We will start with yes or BS. Round number 1, the 19th century President People round. If you picked people walked differently in medieval times, this is true. They stepped with the ball of the foot first to check the ground for debris, perhaps because well-soled shoes were hard to come by in those days. If you went for option B, one granddaughter of President John Tyler, who was the 10th President of the United States, who was born in 1790, is still alive. You'd be absolutely wrong. It was actually 2 grandsons of President John Tyler who are still alive, not a granddaughter. And lastly, in 19th century Ireland, jack-o'-lanterns were carved out of swede instead of pumpkins. False. It's actually turnips they used. And I'm sure swedes and turnips are 2 different things. And moving on to round number 2, the WW2 nostril tendril round. Option A. Sea cucumbers eat with their tendrils that come out from their mouths. False. And this surprised me. They actually eat with their feet. That is rather strange to me, but then again, I'm not a sea cucumber. Option B. Nostrils take turn receiving the majority of the air you breathe. This is actually true, and this explains why one nostril is usually stuffier than the other one. That was a surprising fact for me. No wonder I'm stuffy on some days. And last but not least, if you picked option C, Jerry Springer was born in a street in Piccadilly Circus during World War II, it's actually false. Jerry Springer was born in a London tube station during World War II. Wasn't born in a street, he was actually born underground. And last round, round number 3, the Dead Clown Dawn round. If you picked option A, opossums have a knack for playing play dead when tricking their prey. False. When frightened, they become overexcited and pass out, making it look like they are playing dead, so it's got nothing to do with catching their food. If you picked option B, a group of clowns is called a guffaw, you're wrong. They are known as a giggle. And last but not least, option C, if you picked Red Dawn 1984 became the first movie to be released with a PG-13 rating, that's absolutely correct. It was released on 10th of August 1984 with a PG-13 rating, which I believe in UK terms, that's a 12 rating, I think. I'm sure that's 12 maybe. I could have that totally wrong. Any American listeners, do feel free to educate me on your rating system for movies. Did anyone get blanked? Ouch if you did. If you got points, congratulations. And now for the Gimme the Question answers. Round number 1, your answer was Z. Your question was, the right one to pick was number 3. Who was one of the characters killed in Pulp Fiction? Correct. It's actually Zed who gets killed by Marcellus Wallace in the film and is shot in a very sensitive area, shall we just say that. I can't tell you about the scene because I'll probably get kicked from Podbean. Round number 2. Your answer was Bebop and Rocksteady. I'm surprised if a lot of people did or didn't get this. A lot of people should, considering it's been in a recent movie. Your question, the right one is, which 2 characters are enemies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? If anyone picked Dance Move, you need help. Round number 3. Your answer was Winston Churchill. If you picked question number 3, he flashed the President of the United States of America during a meeting. This is actually absolutely correct. What happened was, his towel came off when he was in the same room as the President and actually said to the President, this is quick thinking, look at me, I've got nothing to hide. Well, Winston, God rest you, I'm sure you didn't, and God knows what the President thought. But hopefully you got points from both games. Sorry if you got blanked, but that's the nature of the beast. With that, here we are, the end of another episode, my dear groaners. But fear not, back to normal schedule next week, 8:30 PM on a Friday. For now. Until the next time. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.